What's going on, Metalheads? Thank you all for tuning in to this week's episode of the Metal Forge. My name is Mark Jackson, and I am your host. And we have, as you can see, a full house here today because we're talking to the Boston-based band, I believe Boston-based band, correct?
Yeah.
Of Ice Giant. And you can see we've got quite a bit of people here. So go ahead and introduce yourselves. Tell us who you are and what you do in the band.
All right. My name is Liv. I sing and play guitar. I founded the band back in 2016, and yeah, super stoked to be here today. A lot of fun.
Hell yeah, welcome.
My name is Eddie. I am guitars, vocals. Been in the band for 9 years, and really excited to be here.
Awesome.
My name is Dan. I play bass. I do a lot of technical stuff, orchestration, stuff like that. I've been in the band for about 5 years, and yeah, we're having fun.
Definitely.
Probably also excited to be here.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
No, not at all. I'm so upset.
We're on the same page now. Okay.
That's so funny.
My name's Jazz. I'm the drummer. I joined about 6 months ago. We were like doing a tour where I did like a fill-in kind of thing for them for a few dates, and I was just really happy to be playing with them. So I kind of had to make it happen, and I'm also super happy to be here.
Hell yeah, that's totally rad because you know, being the newest person in a band with a 10-year long career at this point, that's kind of, I've never really been the new guy in a band, I guess. I mean, so
I kind of feel that it's definitely interesting. I haven't been in any like already like pre-established projects really before. Like everything that I've like been in was kind of like either just starting or like I was helping start it. Like nothing that I've like done band-wise prior to Ice Giant were like established projects for like long periods of time like this one, and it's definitely like a different feeling. Like everything just feels like it's like up a level or two.
For sure. So when you come in, were you a fan of Ice Giant before you started, and this was just like, I would really like to play with this band, or
kinda? Yeah. So I had played with Ice Giant with one of my old bands like many years prior, and it was like a much earlier iteration of Ice Giant. So I was like kind of peripherally aware of them, and then Ghost of Humanity dropped, and that's kind of when I was like more like aware of them and became like a fan. And as far as like playing with them goes, Liv actually approached me at a show I played with my other band, The Spiral Continuum. And she asked me if I would like to do some shows with them and potentially a tour. And I was like elated when she asked me.
Hell yeah, that's rad. So Liv starting the band in 2016. Tell me about it.
Yeah, sure. So, I mean, I've been playing in bands since I was like 14 years old, and I had a band in high school that I was really fond of, but, high school ends and everybody goes their separate ways, and that's just how it is. So all through college, I was thinking about trying to start a new band, one that was really like something that I wanted to do. I'm very fond of, your Scandinavian melodic death metal and like symphonic, crazy, blackened stuff. And so I was thinking like what can I do to like fuse all of this stuff together that I like and make it into a project that not only is like fulfilling to be a part of, but is also going to be fun for everybody else to witness. And so I wrote some songs with former members Kyle Hebner and Tom Lebednik, and around specifically February 19th, 2016, we played our first show, and shortly after that, in 2017, we put out this like demo record, which was, it sounds like a bunch of kids making a record in their basement, because that's what we did. We were just trying our best. Yeah, that's we went on like that for quite a while. We ended up shifting to, I guess, what you might call like a more like professional mindset during and after the pandemic. You know, we're only getting older here, and we figured that if we're going to be doing some sort of rock and roll, then, you know, we're going to like have goals and like try and reach, you know, the heights of musical success that we can all do together. Which brings me to our modern iteration that I just got to say I'm just so happy with. And that's not to throw shade at anybody who's been a part of the project in the past, but just this lineup we've all felt so great about. And we're really looking forward to the future as a result.
Definitely. I can get behind that as well, because having a lineup that you're like really jazzed on, and then just like, and then all of a sudden you might change something out, and then it's just like, holy shit, this is even better than before. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's totally cool. I've been in that situation with my thrash band. We began in 2007 and I've been the only static member of. So
I know
yeah,
that feeling.
Totally get it. And when it's like, okay, well, like spotting like when years when so-and-so was there and how things changed and adapted. And once you got like a different person, and once you finally reach a lineup that you're just like, holy shit, this is the best we've ever been. And it's rad as hell. It to me, being a musician, looking at that makes it really feel like, wow, look at what we've been through. Look at where we are. Mm-hmm. This is awesome.
Totally. Yeah.
Now, I will say this. So on the first album, you know, Ice Giant self-titled, who did the artwork for that? Because I absolutely love it, because it looks like just this old idea, like you would have seen it in like, it would have been something like Manila Road would have had as an album cover possibly, or, you know, some of these bands from the 70s and stuff that weren't using people like Frank Frazetta.
Mm-hmm, totally. That's actually remarkable you just mentioned Manila Road, because we had our friend Nate do it, and he's an awesome artist, and you know, he made like the whole concept, and like everything that you see on like the inside of that jewel case too is like, it's all him, and that sort of hand drawn style. And we kind of like instructed him to like do a Manila Road-esque thing for us. If you talk to our former drummer Kyle, he is a massive Manila Road fan, so he kind of like got the idea from that and then gave that to Nate, and then here it comes. So you hit the nail right on the head. That's exactly the inspiration.
That's great. So obviously, what you were considered earlier in the day was kind of a more of like a heavy metal, power metal deal, and now we're kind of shifted to more like melodic death metal and stuff like that into the career as well. One of the things I thought about is like, where did the name Ice Giant come from? Because to me, I'm a space nerd. And, you know, I think when I hear Ice Giant, I think like gas giant, like it's this giant ice ball fucking planet, right? Mm-hmm. But then, you know, I'm also a D&D nerd, and Ice Giants being like fucking like, you know, these giant fucking abominable fucking creatures like the fucking Balrog of Ice or whatever. So where does the therein lie? Because obviously the Ice Giant artwork for the first album versus the second album kind of hits on both of those.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I feel like you're reading my mind, man. That's literally exactly it.
That's what I do.
The first record was indeed like, ooh, like Ice Giants, like Frost Giants, like a D&D sort of thing, and like, you know, like we're all like big Skyrim nerds and stuff like that. And then the next one, we were like, oh yeah, Ice Giant is a classification of planet. So we're gonna do a space record this time. Like you're exactly right. That's literally exactly what happened.
Well, it's funny. I'm noticing some parallels here in my own music career, because It's like, what can we talk about that sums this up? And then what's like, well, we haven't really done anything about space yet.
Why not?
and it's cool because, you know, there's a lot of cool space rock bands out there that a lot of people realize. But then again, you know, there's not a lot of space like metal bands. I mean, yeah, you might get some cool designs and it just be whatever, but like the whole idea behind something is pretty cool.
Yeah, and we're very lucky to know another space metal band, which I'd like to put on everybody's radar while we're here. Our good buddies in Scorched Moon, who live down in Atlanta, they have an album called Obsidia that they put out in the last couple years, and it is space metal through and through. So if you're into that fun progressive angle on the space metal, Scorched Moon are your boys for sure.
Hell yeah. Definitely. Well, and funny enough, you say Scorched Moon, and this past week's episode was Scorched Earth.
Oh, cool. Dang! Wow.
From Indianapolis. So Eddie, you've had the second longest tenure in the band so far. Tell me how you came along.
Well, I'll start with how I met Liv, which is a story I've told before, but she was the only one brave enough to jump into this one pit with this other person, got bloodied in the process. we met that way, and then a friend of ours, Colin, brought us together when a guitarist was needed, and I just knew it was something really special right away. Liv and I just got along great, had a special like connection with the guitar and the writing and singing together, and it was a lot of fun to bring all of the things she had in her repertoire with the power metal things you hear a lot on that first record that weren't my absolute forte, where I was coming from more of death metal, modern death metal, things like that, but an affinity for all those things. So we got to have fun melding that together, and I got to hear what she was writing on what would become Ghosts of Humanity, and it was sounding more progressive. It started to make me feel more spacey. Got me into Star Trek.
Nice.
Started watching through that again. It started serving the concepts around Ghosts of Humanity that we wanted to serve. And a lot of shows, many shows later, many writing sessions later, and we're still going strong.
Hell yeah. So you mentioned it got you back into Star Trek.
Yeah, because like where I was also getting into Star Trek at the time because something had clicked for me about how Star Trek was so much more than a show about space.
Sure.
A show about humanity and how we treat each other. So much more.
Right. And in the, 200 years in the future kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have, I'll go ahead and ask one of these questions. Do you have a favorite movie? And okay, and because I'm a space nerd, I'm a Star Trek nerd. There's an Admiral Kirk sitting right here on my desk.
Mm-hmm.
Admiral.
Original series. Do you have a favorite film?
Full disclosure, I'm not the Trek nerd that I should be. Still working on it. Tolkien nerd. I've got my Tolkien nerd card, but I'm working on my Trek card.
Okay.
I really, like it would that. I mean, I do want to say Wrath of Khan, but like that first original one that I saw was really cool.
Oh wow! So the motion picture, don't get that a lot. That's it's definitely a hard watch. It's definitely a weird Star Trek film for what it is.
Cool for like what
epic.
Yeah, like I could see it for what it is, but it's like they were going for this epic thing. The execution, yeah, left some things, but I kind of liked seeing what was going over that.
Oh, sure. Funny note here, and Ricardo Montalban couldn't hardly find work after his role in Star Trek 2.
Yeah,
because nobody wanted to hire an ex-con.
Oh.
Bazinga.
Let me make sure I'm talking about the right one.
Because he plays Khan. Come on.
Oh. I was like, wow, was he a convict in
I was
real
like,
life?
wait,
That's interesting.
what do I know?
Dan was about to get like, what did he do? Like,
Oh, that's funny.
Eddie's like, I gotta look this up. Wait,
Yeah, like, what am I doing? What's going on?
I had to consult with the Google machine. Sorry, I had to.
That's a good one. That's
it was a
really
meme that I saw a short while ago, and it's been like ever since. But no, hell yeah, that seeing the stuff that Liv was writing leading up to the second album and everything, and just being like, yeah, this is really cool. This is getting me into the space theme of stuff, and yeah, just like being able to write about the humanities of just like everybody, that it's, we're all fucking people, it's like, chill the fuck out, take a step fucking back, dealing with the evil motherfuckers. That's the problem is.
Yeah, that's that certainly, that you're totally agreed on that. I think we harbor the same sort of ethos that the Gojira folks do, which is that humanity is scary enough. Like, you don't really need to sing. Like, you can sing about whatever you want, but like, we don't really need to like make up anything to like illustrate the terrifying realities of reality. Like, the realities of reality. You can use that one. Trademark.
Yeah, for sure.
But Ghost of Humanity is about the hubris of the wealthy, and like it's we're seeing it all around us today in so many ways. I'll keep it there for now, so as to not yap y'all's ears off about that right now. But yeah, again, you've hit the nail on the head. It's all about humanity and how we all play together and who the real evils are, for sure.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Definitely. Dan, bass, and orchestrations, and you said, and among other things. So tell
Sound
us about
engineer
it.
too.
Oh,
yeah.
So are you like the band dad kind of thing? Are you doing like making sure like deadlines are met and all that stuff? What's going on here?
I can't take 100% credit for all that kind of stuff, but I'll take 85% credit now. Yeah. So my whole thing is so the orchestrations on the Ghost of Humanity album were not me. That was Vikram Shankar, who's in he tours with Pain of Salvation. Lux Terminus is I believe his primary original project, among other things. Incredible keyboardist orchestrator. All the singles we've put out since that have been my orchestrations. And also everything after the Ghost of Humanity record is my audio work as well. So my whole ethos around that kind of stuff is, bands are... You can run a band one of two ways, I think, and have it work both ways, where you have a band that's very, very diplomatic, and I think Ice Giant is pretty good with that. We have a good interpersonal relationship in terms of what we like, what we want to do. Our writing process is very collaborative, things like that. And I once in a while will have a little... we'll call it a meltdown in the band chat where I'm like, okay, we got to do this and this and this and this and this and this and that, and list out a million different dates and then try and steer us on that track. And then the flip side of things is, like, sometimes you can have a band that's run by one person and it works more or less fine. Ice Giant is not one of those, but
sure.
Yeah, I think both ideas are valid. So band dad, I guess. Sure. I'll take it.
Hell yeah. No, so being at practice for one of my bands yesterday, and, obviously it seems like, are you all in the same area? How far away are you all?
Let me show you how in the same area we are.
We're in an actual tour here.
Specifically, Liv and I are in the same area.
Hey, man.
Surprise. Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah,
okay.
we are literally in the same house, Liv and I. Eddie is down in Maryland and Jazz is out in Western Mass. So Liv and I are 10 to 20 feet apart most of the time. Jazz is like a 2-ish hour drive. Eddie's like a 8-ish hour drive.
Yeah.
Okay, so when it comes to like getting together and doing a practice, it's going to be before shows. It's going to be more than likely, you know, maybe once every few months, something you can hang out for the weekend and just do stuff, record, write, do all that. Understandable. That's kind of how I get. We're all about 2 hours apart from each other in Ice Howl. So getting the drive up, getting the, you know, and the drive back to do that decompression and just do the thing. So when I totally get what you're saying about the band chat thing and just being like, and everybody's like, oh shit, that's a lot of stuff. Holy hell, what are we going to do? And like, we have our little meltdowns about it. And it's like, or, you know, other members who have different schedules. You know, like somebody works during the day and doesn't have Messenger on their phone. And then there's like 40 messages that they check at night. And it's like, wait, where the fuck am I?
Yeah, it's a cool feeling that like after the years of working at it and trying to get better at this. And like we were talking of having this lineup now, we've been so good at having these systems in place of let's have these weekly meetings. Let's work on these things. Let's make our notes on the things we need to do, our checklist, get back to each other, and it's been keeping each other accountable, but it hasn't been like a chore and like having to pester each other. We're having a lot of fun, like
exactly,
like making these new songs, and it's a lot more fun. We can keep some kind of schedule with things, and but yeah, just having those systems in place, just like the weekly meetings and being able to get linked up once in a while, prepping for the shows before we even get together. This really helps as well.
And, you know, something that's so cool about that today, and, you know, we always talk about things like technology and the way we're affected as people and like, you know, the doom scroll lifestyle kind of shit, right? But the thing about it is like, you know, obviously with you all being 8 hours apart, Jazz being 2-ish hours away, whatever, it's like 20 or 30 years ago, that wouldn't have happened in the music scene. You would have been playing with people in your own area, or, you know, you would have met somebody and you maybe a tape traded or CD traded somebody, and maybe then, you know, but getting together was a necessity back then. And now it's like there's so many awesome musicians playing together that live far apart from each other. And I think that's rad as hell.
Yeah,
get awesome bands like Ice Giant and you know, so many other fucking cool bands. So 10 years, milestone, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Like explain like what it feels like to be a decade into a project.
Man, so you'll learn this about me over the course of many more of the questions, but I am an emotional bitch, and so fucking with this kind of thing, it's like 10 years is obviously a huge milestone, double digits, and few things I've dedicated my life to for longer than what this band has been. Like, the only things that beat it are like just playing guitar and singing, like, just as a practice, and like going to school and like being alive. Like, you know, that's
sure.
Yeah, so that's it's not lost on me like what an impact you know, just having this project has made on my life for this long. And then, you know, I've seen so much change in, you know, the world and myself in that time. Like, you know, I transitioned in the middle of being part of this band. So if you look at Ice Giant 1 and you look at the liner notes, that's me, but that ain't my name. And then if you look at Ghost of Humanity, that is my name. So it's a lot. And like, you know, the fact that we're here is like just this amazing, I don't know, like it's certainly making me emotional being at this place. And you know, we are at the time this will air, the song will already be out. So I feel comfortable in saying that, you know, we're re-releasing a re-recorded version of That Tyranny's End, which was our very first song that was ever written for the project. And, you know, hearkening back to that and giving it like an updated sound and, you know, production and all that was, I don't know. It all feels really good. A lot of, I don't know. It would be
no, you're good with that. No, that's great. And like you mentioned a couple things in there that I want to hit on. One of which you're re-recording a classic song with a new lineup. So for one, I've never really done that. I've only, you know, the only recordings I have of classic songs are the original recordings with the original members or live recordings of the band today. So how does that come full circle for you and Eddie and coming through to where it's like being in that original lineup and having so much change in that time? Because imagine this, like you're like, it's like a third grader at this point, you know, 10 years old. That's a third grader to me, you know, it's like, holy hell.
Yeah. That little guy has a whole personality for sure.
You know, that's like, there's some of the people in the music scene today that, you know, this is half of their lives at this point.
Yeah.
You know, because you got some 20, you know, what are we doing here? Uh-oh. What's up? Come here. Oh,
hey, perfect.
This is Diana.
Hi,
and,
Diana.
My vocalist, Seba, said that I should probably talk cats with you all at some point.
Oh, no, that's great. I actually
and compare cats. But this is Miss Diana Prince.
Hello, Diana Prince.
I had that teed up, actually. If you want to check in a check here, we had the request to...
That's great. But she often jumps into the show. Sometimes she jumps up on the desk here. That one was a little bit weird, but I'm like, whoa, what the hell? She usually doesn't jump up on this chair. Cool. But anyway, you know, so and obviously with transitioning in that time period too, becoming becoming your true self.
Yeah, totally. And, you know, like I can go on for ages about like, you know, what it's like to transition and get on HRT and like really become the person that I want to be. But I guess most relevant to here, it's been really interesting to see how it affects how I write and also participate with the music that's already been written for Ice Giant. I think it will reflect in this new record that we're also writing for. You know, it's I can't really explain it except in like very like esoteric, like feelings based kind of ways. But you know, it's definitely shifted like how I think of how I try to express emotion through playing guitar. And I think it's pretty cool. But I definitely feel a lot better, you know, obviously being my real self and now being able to do the art that I like. And, you know, I think it's awesome to like Jazz. I'm going to gush about you for a minute, if that's cool. You know, like one of the other things that, with, Jazz having joined the band recently too, is like, you know, obviously we love her so much because like she's an awesome hang and she's an insane drummer. Oh my God. And just like gets along with the group really well. We've all become really good friends, but also, oh my God, just having another trans woman in the band has been so fucking cool.
It's
That's
definitely
great.
been like a cool vibe being in a band with another trans woman as well. Like that's not a dynamic that I've had before, and it's definitely like easier
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Like I think it comes down to like-mindedness.
Definitely.
Overall, and we having all like-minded values and such like that, like being in a band with three people who are in their 40s and don't have kids. That's already hard enough. Like, so being in that like-minded situation for myself, it's like we all know what we can do and what we want to do and all of that. So yeah, having those other people that you can lean on and, making it a family like scenario, the family that, I think we all really, really want, the relationships we look for the most in life, I think.
Yeah, I would definitely have to agree.
Hell yeah. So, hang on.
I see that camera.
This saves me a cut.
Oh yeah.
So, you kind of mentioned it a minute ago, writing a new album.
Mm-hmm.
Do we have any details on it? I mean, can we spill any tea on the new album here? Like possible release, possible title? Are we going to break any news today?
We don't have allowed to.
Are we allowed to break any news? Is it like a label thing?
No.
It's just between the four of us.
What?
Hopefully, but.
Yeah, that's check back with us in like a half a year, like
yeah. Sure.
What I think we can lay out is what we're really excited about is that we brought in all these ideas that all four members had over like a bunch of ideas, and since the last tour, we've been listening to those and been going through the whole list, knocking them all out, and thinking we have a lot of material that is getting done simultaneously. And like we were talking on the subjects of what we're writing about, it's going across all different types of subjects and emotions. And I think we feel so comfortable with how we're writing together right now that we feel like so free. So everything's just like rolling. So we can't give it, like, don't have any titles for you right now, things like that. But we're really, really excited about what we're coming up with, and some things are going to be happening soon.
Hell yeah. Now, when it comes to the recording process, obviously, Dan, you're doing some of that. Now, are you all doing everything in house? Are you going to studios? What are we doing?
We're going to try and do as much of it in house as we possibly can. I'm sure there's going to be a couple of things that we might have to go elsewhere for, but we did the everything that we've released since the Ghosts of Humanity record, which is our Spirit Crusher cover, the Tale of Rowanam, Obscuring Cloud, and now At Tyranny's End. Those were all recorded completely in-house. The drums were our previous drummer, Alex Paiva, who is in my other band, Perennial Quest, as well.
Yeah.
So he recorded all the drums himself. We recorded DI guitars and bass. I just kind of locked myself in my cave and did all the orchestrations for it over the course of an eternity, and eventually mixes appeared. I think the plan for the next one, we still have a ways out before we're going to actually start tracking things. Probably a couple of months is my guess. But there are a ton of songs. There's like a substantial number of songs that we've been working on, and we're loving all of them. 19 total songs. So not all of them are going to be able to make the cut. It's probably going to end up in a getting parted out into a couple of different releases. Like there's a lot of music.
That's something that I've always been an interest in, because in my formative years of being a musician and like getting into the craft of playing and recording and doing this as like an art form, like watching things like A Year and a Half in the Life of Metallica. I mean, granted, it's Metallica, but it's a very, or classic albums, those series. And you find out that like there's songs that never made the cut of the album and they're just sitting in a vault somewhere, or somebody's fucking closet or whatever. And it's just like, oftentimes in, independent bands, you're pretty much writing to the degree of what you need. So when you have like 19 songs and it's like, what makes the cut? And it's like, what if they're all so fucking good to you all that it's like hard to dwindle down? It's like, do you release this as 2 parts? That's like the beauty part of all of that, I think.
Mm-hmm. I think we're going to have fun with maybe deciding what songs go best together out of that necessity. Right.
Oh, sure.
Of like,
yes. Do we want to, what's the story going to be? Mm-hmm. What are we going to, does this song that's say track number 2 actually fit better with tracks 15 and 17 or something? And it's just like, that's such a fun thing to do. Yeah. And, there's bands, Tool apparently had done this where on the Lateralis album, there is a thing called a holy gift, and it is an alternate track listing to the album.
Heard of that.
To listen to it in a different context and how it actually plays together. And that stuff's cool as shit.
Yeah.
One of my other favorites of those is, again, with Tool, but on the 10,000 Days record.
Mm-hmm.
If you put Wings for Marie Part 1 and Vigenti Tres, like the weird, like soundscapey one. If you do Vigenti Tres first and then Wings Part 1 sequentially one after each other, and then you lay Wings Part 2 on top of both of those, it apparently creates what they call the perfect sync, where it becomes a whole new experience of that song if you put all 3 of those together in this like weird puzzle that they left for you.
See, and that's crazy to me because like Adam Jones does all of their stuff and like completely on another level, I think.
Yeah, he's nuts. For sure.
Definitely. So in 2026, obviously going to possibly start tracking an album and getting that stuff ready. What else do you have plans for? Do you have any festival shows? Do you have any tours planned? TBD?
We're allowed to talk about it.
There are a couple of shows scheduled for later in the year that I don't think we're allowed to talk about. Well, actually, cool. One of them is getting announced tomorrow, and that's we were supposed to, in January, play a festival called Demonic Symphonic Fest in Delaware, but that was on the weekend of the snowstorm, so it got moved to May 30th, and that's, as of we're filming it today, it's getting announced tomorrow on Monday, so that'll be announced by the time this drops.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
And then there's another festival later in the year that we have been told not to talk about yet. And nice. We're scheming some potential tours at some point later in the year. But yeah, I think a lot of this year we've toured. We've done a pretty substantial amount of touring the last couple of years, all on the DIY level. And, it's been cool. It's been a great experience. We've met, networking has been incredible throughout all of that. But this year, I think our main focus is going to be getting all this music recorded. And if we can somehow end up on like a week in somewhere fun at some point later in the year, yeah, we'll take it.
Hell yeah, dude, that's amazing. So definitely looking forward to some awesome new stuff. Then the new old single came out yesterday. We can tag a video of that here, I think, and get the word out for it. But I'm going to ask you all some general questions about you as people. I've went through names for this area or this section of the show for a long time. I called it Derailed for a bit, but I don't know. It's just like, I don't know. It's this all of a sudden thing. I've with the changes of everything, I just feel like to find out more about people, because I talk to musicians and artists and stuff all the time. And, we seem to have a similar like-minded feel of a lot of things and still be very individual at the same time. And that thing of no two people, yeah, you might have reflectors of things, but like no two people are alike. And that is the most beautiful thing about it. What did you want to be as a kid?
Fuck. I feel like it changed like every year.
Yeah.
I remember paleontologist, astronaut, truck driver, you know, like everything that you could ever want as a young kid.
I think this basically, by an like early age, I started playing guitar at like 11, and I saw the CD in my head, you know. But I'm trying to go before that. I did like golf a lot. I wanted to. I
just got this Dr. Manhattan feeling when he did that. Like, I'm a huge Watchmen fan, and when Eddie turned, and it's like, yeah.
the atom split, and there's Ghost.
Well, and it doesn't help that I just recently watched they have a new version out again, where they actually include the animation from the comic that's within the comic. And it adds like another like hour and 47 minutes to the movie.
Oh, shit.
So it's like 3.5 hours now.
Is that the animated one that's on HBO, or is that the Snyder movie with the animation inserted in it?
It's the Snyder with the animation inserted. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Tales from the Black Freighter.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I believe it's Gerard Butler who is the narrator of all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the movie is still the same. I think they've added a couple of scenes, but nothing crazy.
Mm.
So music, you saw the CD and
I think I was enjoying like playing golf. I was like, see if I would be any good at that. But then I had guitar. I think I got into like the hair metal was like my first kind of exposure.
Okay,
like hair metal, Def Leppard, Rat. And there's like the energy there from like, I think I got that at like a young age, and that just caught me. So.
And Eddie, like, you have turned us on to all sorts of crazy 80s shit. Like, fucking, I would have never given Def Leppard the time of day just considering the metal that I already like. But now, like, High and Dry is in like semi-regular rotation.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Like early stuff is great. Like early Def Leppard, I really do like. But like once you get into like the hair side of it with like Hysteria and Pyromania and all that, when it's like super commercialized, it's like the classic rock staple songs today.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Pour Some Sugar on Me, and
they definitely like that sound shifted from this like classic rock cutting riffs. They still kept those elements, and they were working muddling and everything. I'm in the fan base, and I like all of it, but I definitely I can feel how that shift like after High and Dry and everything. I got to going on a Def Leppard sidebar here, but just a little while ago, I got to see Def Leppard with 60,000 people like last summer on a beach, and that was just like a sacred moment for me. But I forget where we came off of. But
so Dan, you've got a guest here.
I've got a guest. This is Nuclear Bomb.
Shit,
that is her actual name.
That is actually her name.
Oh, sweet baby.
Yeah, this is our third roommate, Fish's cat. She's such a sweet little baby. She loves being in my room. Anytime she can sneak into my... Oh, don't stand on the keyboard. Nope.
Don't be sending no texts to nobody.
Album deleted.
Deleted the whole
we gotta erase this podcast.
She loves sneaking in. She loves sneaking into my room and hiding under my bed, and then I'll go to like sleep, and then at 3 a.m. I'll wake up and I'm like, shit, there's like just a cat sitting on me, and I won't have known that she was in there the whole night.
Dude, like my cat does that weird shit to me where Georgia does, where I will be asleep and she will walk around me to get comfortable. And then like for some reason at like 3:50 every morning, she will come up and like start nose touching me with her nose, and it's wet and cold, and it's like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, I want to sleep. It's not time for me to get up. I live 3 minutes from work, honey. I can get up at 7:57 and still make it on time. You know, it's like 3:50 in the fucking morning.
Jeez.
Dan, what did you want to be when you were a wee lad?
The only reason I know that the definitive answer to this is because I apparently put it in a yearbook when I was in like 5th grade. And my mom once in a while will send me like the Facebook memory and be like, "Oh, you were so cute." But apparently I put in my 5th or 6th grade yearbook that I wanted to be a quote famous writer and also in a band.
Hey.
I mean, and here you are now.
I have half of that, you know.
Yeah, here you are now. You're Metal Forge famous at least.
Yes.
I mean, you're in the 300s of the episodes so far. So it's been going on a minute. Some people, I get like 5 listens or some shit. No.
Yeah, awesome. Famous amongst 5.
Hey, you know, see, that's the other part of it. You know, that's the other part of it is, you know, famous amongst 5 is kind of just how it is, because it's like 6 degrees of separation. If there's the other 5, then there you go.
Yeah.
And honestly, to me, like, I'd almost prefer that than to be that super machine of a show that's like, okay, having an itinerary to have to based on the hour to where you have to be, you know, because I'm sure there's those. I'm sure when Metallica's on tour, or you know, Def Leppard's on tour, they've got that fucking itinerary. You know, leave the airport at 9, or leave the hotel at 9, and have to be fucking at the airport by 11 or whatever. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas with this, you can like fall asleep watching Lord of the Rings.
Yeah,
like right before.
Yeah. I can fall asleep fucking 3 hours before a podcast and get up groggy as shit, and hey, doesn't
which like kind of kicks ass. Like
I didn't miss it. I didn't miss a show that fucking 35,000 people paid to do, and I had a refund.
It ties back to one of the coolest thing about doing the shows and the tours. We're there that day meeting so many cool people, and we've been extended such generosities like in our travels and met so many cool people. It's that, and like goes to the writing where you're just writing in that day. You're not trying to think of the big scheme of and getting tripped up on that, and you're not trying to get in your itinerary or what our content should be or what we are supposed to do. It's what we're going to have fun doing.
Exactly. And it sounds like on that saying that you mentioned the C word in there. Content. You mentioned the C word of content.
Woo!
Absolutely. And the thing about it is like but then the way that you explained it is that it's still that's a loose term. You know, you're still making art, and you're still taking the time to grow as a person and be that artist, as opposed to that content creator, as language has changed.
Well, I take care of most of our social media content nowadays, and I'm gonna be honest, I do really enjoy making it, because like I'm on social media constantly anyway, so I'm always thinking of like stuff to do and post to like get people to pay attention. It's definitely an art form in and of itself, because like there's a balance between like make something engaging and like make something that isn't gonna make you hate yourself after a while. Sure. I think we've got a good thing going with it, where like when we don't have like announcements to talk about, I'm usually posting clips, and I try to like attach something funny to it. Like in 2022, we played at RPM Fest out in Western Mass, and there were like 10 or 12 pool noodles just kind of strewn about the grounds. And so motherfuckers were picking them up and like hitting each other with them. So when we started our song Grand Evil's Machine, I get to the mic and I'm just like, all right, grab a noodle and hit the motherfucker next to you. And that clip does numbers on the social media. I think people just want to have novelties.
Like the party rock band scene like that, where it's just like the crazy antic stuff like that, where like pool noodles show up at shows and shit like that. You know, that's a whole other scene in and of itself. And it's just like, wow. It's like if you were familiar with Belushi Speedball.
Yep.
Yes.
They actually played RPM Fest, I think 2 years ago, and they did that. Yeah.
Getting they're like, they do the Amon Amarth thing where they can get the crowd to row. And, you know, lay down and like plank on the ground and shit like that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's all fun.
Definitely.
I think there was one we did in on the last tour, Celestial Wizard, where I think Dan died every day.
That was just a funny bit. That was a social media bit. Yeah, I died in some horrific way every day. Like I got run over by a truck one day. I choked on a Portillo's hot dog one day. Like,
you got cats when you crossed into Canada.
Oh yeah, I got killed. Yeah.
Yo.
That was great. That was a really funny bit.
One of my favorite moments from the tour is when we were talking about that like loudly in front of someone's house while they were like outside gardening. One of them had to like go inside while like shaking their head laughing.
Like these fucking idiots.
Oh, that was. I remember that. That was in Toronto. Yeah, that was
funny. Fucking
Jazz.
Doing here.
What did you want to be when you grew up, or when you were a kid?
Like when I had like a vision for it, it was definitely music. Like when I had the ability to like pick something to do.
Sure.
Like I saw like drummers like making content on YouTube, like doing like drum covers, and at first like that's kind of like what I wanted to do. Was like do sort of like something like that and spring that into like a full musical career. And like my ways of getting there have kind of like changed, like how I want to do that. Like I don't really feel like doing the whole like social media heavy content as much anymore like I used to when I was younger, or like I used to like try to. But like I still definitely have like the same like vision now. It's like I just want to do music. Like nothing mattered to me to the same level like when I was younger at all. And anything else that I could ever like have aspired to at that point was like peripheral.
Right on. I totally get that. Hell yeah. What is a failure that you could admit that you've learned from?
Damn, you're asking the real questions now. Fucking A.
I'll start. I would like to think I've gotten better at listening. Sorry if I haven't, but I like to think that if I have a criticism of something I've written or something like that, I don't take it as a personal attack. I try to listen and be like, I trust my bandmates. My bandmates have something like good to say. I need to listen and like see what serves the song or something like that. So I've tried to sharpen that tool of being able to listen and take in what people say.
Definitely.
Yeah, for me, it's still very much an in progress thing. I tend to believe that most people's lives are the cat hair in my mouth now. Oh.
Not having a lint roller.
I tend to believe that most people's lives are in some way a never-ending quest to improve yourself in some capacity. And I think that the thing that I'm working on most right now is that a lot of the times when shows happen, or logistics or something like that, I hyper focus on stuff like that to the point where I've been described as intense and unapproachable at shows very often, which it comes from, I'm trying to there's a balance that I need to do a better job of striking between having fun and being at a show and doing my job, which is putting on a good show. Because if I'm at a show and I look like I'm fuming in the corner, I'm like not trying to, but sometimes like stress of having to do like a ton of like moving a planet essentially in 15 minutes is often gets to me, and I think I've been doing better with that recently. So
you definitely have. Having worked with you for 5 years and lived with you for 4 of those, I definitely see your effort there for sure.
Hell yeah. Liv, Jazz?
Yeah. I have my answer. I'm just having a hard time articulating it. Jazz, you go first.
I would say, so again, kind of to Dan's point, I feel like there's a lot of growth that still needs to kind of... But if I were to let...
You kind of froze there for a second.
One.
Oh, you're back.
Oh, am I me?
Now you're back.
Now you're back.
Good? Okay, cool. I was saying, like, kind of to Dan's point of, like, just growth kind of constantly happens. I do think that is, like a forever thing. I would say as far as, like musically, the most, like, important, like, mistake, like, I've made that I've, like, tried to, like, be better about is, like, being more accountable, like, with my gear. There was a show like many years ago where I like left something really, really important at home, and just learning to be better about like keeping track of my stuff has been like that's something that I get probably more obsessive about with a show than anything else, is like making sure I have absolutely everything. And yeah, I would say that's probably like a mistake that I've made that I've definitely learned from. Like,
definitely. Hell yeah. I get that. One of my things is like I've went to where it's like I don't need a bunch of stuff now. It's like because everything's like kind of self-contained, so it's like that's such an easy way to. It's like, okay, I'm only responsible for bringing my bass.
I think, and kind of to your point with like bringing too much, I think that's like another thing that I've learned is to like not bring like more than I absolutely need.
Sure.
And like I still kind of play like a semi-larger setup. But like it's not like I don't have like a full-sized like rack like setup. Like I don't need like everything.
You're not bringing the rototoms out when you're not playing them, but for like one section of one song,
exactly,
one 4-bar section, But I mean, yeah.
Like I don't have
bringing way too much stuff for sure.
Yeah, I don't have like 3 rack toms and 4 floor toms on my setup kind of deal. Like I'm not.
Yeah,
like
I've had that drummer who's still very adamant about playing like an 11 or 13 piece kit or some shit that doesn't fit on stages anywhere anymore because everything's so much smaller now.
I think a lot of it is about like trying to. I mean, I guess this is more like drum specific, but like trying to work your like phrases into like a smaller set of things, like adapting what you're able to do with like fewer things, and I guess like approaching the instrument differently and like learning to do it in a way that is like so you can be efficient at shows. And if you can't, like I feel like you have to kind of change how you're approaching it.
Well, it's energy consumption, and this is the thing, and I know I've mentioned them a couple times, but talking about a drummer who catches a lot of shit about their live performance, Lars, but you understand why when you fucking figure that like the stuff that's put on album, and then basically being able to do it for 2 hours a night, it weighs on you, and and like I've. Like one of my drummer personally with Mike is he's went from like this to being able to do just like this, not, even the range of motion stuff, where, if you're like having to reach and hit like a far out point versus, expelling this energy versus this energy. That's all part of it.
That is a huge part of it for sure. Like having decent setup ergonomics are like important for space reasons and for like longevity reasons. Like you can do this forever. I forget his name, but there's a guy on like Instagram that like has tons and tons of videos on this, like just on like ergonomics and like angling things and making it so you can have stuff that's closer to you, but you can still hit it in a way that's comfortable, and in a way that is also like saving space a bit.
Oh, absolutely. Like, I enjoy seeing people like on like the drum videos and stuff that like, I love the kick cam. Because I being a bass player myself, I'm like, sinking into that, like the rhythm of the kick kind of thing. Right.
Yeah.
And I like watching people's kick techniques, just to see that crazy stuff. Like who plays heel, who plays toe, who plays like this weird offbeat. Seeing especially women drummers playing in like heels and shit. Like how the fuck, it's like
that's your next challenge, baby girl.
yeah, there you go. Now you can learn to play in heels. Liv, you're up to bat.
Oh shit. Okay. No, I do have an answer, and it's that I'm perfect. No, I'm so kidding. It's actually a bit of an extrapolation on what Eddie said, where he was talking about how when like song structures change and how it's not like a personal attack, it's just like we're all working towards the goal of what the best version of whatever this can be. But I want to bring that to a bit more bigger picture of just I am, as we've said, continuously working on just adjusting to change in general, where, even something as small as like, we're going to arrive at the venue like a half hour after when we said we were going to, or like if my content schedule, which I have made, very strict for myself, ends up being like an hour or two off one day and not freaking out about it. Like, it's, I tend to think in a very black and white fashion of, if something happens in this way, then that's good. So if it happens in any other way, it's not good. But, obviously that's not true. There's gray area to every decision you make in life. And so I have been trying to exercise the patience to take change as it comes and, treat it with, the honor and grace that the situation deserves.
Absolutely. That definitely because it's the condition of being human. You have to look at those things, and there are very, very strict guidelines of certain things, but like not everything has to be that way per se, but like getting to that point to where you can acknowledge that, like, okay, this is a moment where I have to make sure that I don't go nuclear here from it. And because
I'm so sorry, I just pulled the plug out of my headphones, so okay, now I can hear you again.
Oh no, but I'm just saying how it was, just being able to acknowledge that, not everything, maybe it's not such a bad thing that this happened an hour late.
Correct. Yeah, for sure.
And sometimes, especially for me, like I always like get to the venue, like if it says load in is at 5, I'm like, I'm there at like 4:55. Like I'm that guy. And it's hard sometimes because then, when it comes to, when you're playing at 9:30, I'm exhausted. And, like Dan's saying earlier, like look at, having what used to be called resting bitch face in the corner. And you're just like looking unapproachable, as you said. Yeah, I've definitely had that happen as well. And, being looking like Gimli the dwarf really doesn't help that, So I tried to be a lot better with it. So yeah, I totally get that as well for all of you. What's your favorite action movie?
I can answer that right the fuck
Immediate.
now.
I can also immediately answer that.
Mark, this is not only my favorite action movie, this is just my favorite movie, period. It is Terminator 2 Judgment Day, which we rewatched last night. Yeah. I could fucking go off. I'm going off.
But the director's cut is so much better.
I don't think I've seen the director's cut.
Holy fuck, I didn't even know there was one. Are you kidding me? Mark, you're kidding me.
I'm going to find it on Blu-ray right now.
Oh my God.
Okay, so the director's cut. Okay, so let me ask you this question. In the movie that you watch, does Arnold smile?
Yeah, there's the...
Where he does like this real weird like
yeah, no, so check it out. Check it out. It's when they find the stash of all the guns that Sarah kept with Enrique.
Yes.
And then he picks up the minigun for the first time and he just goes...
Yeah.
I don't know if that's what you're talking about, but if so, yes.
There's also the scene where they take the chip out of his head.
No, I don't think that was in the one.
Okay, so there's a point in the film, in the director's cut, that is they take the microchip, his processor, out, and Sarah goes to smash it, and she almost hits John with the hammer because he snatches it away from her.
Whoa, no, I didn't see that.
Yeah.
Wow! Holy shit! Oh my God! I didn't know there was more.
There's like another 20 or 30 minutes in that cut.
Shut the fuck up, Mark! Oh my God!
I'm trying to find a Blu-ray of it right now.
God, I'm like a kid on Christmas right now. You mean there's more of my favorite movie? Are you kidding me? I'm like, whoa!
Jazz, what's your favorite movie or action film? I should say.
I feel like Black Dynamite has to count as an action.
Yeah! You're goddamn right!
Like, absolutely.
Dynamite!
Both of my answers have been stolen so far.
That's great.
We all watched that together one of the times that Eddie and I were over live in Dan's apartment, and that was just like a phenomenal night. Like, the whole way.
Dynamite.
So, where's cream corn these days?
Kung Fu treachery.
There was a point where Eddie and I were doing like a mosey around Boston, and we were in the North End, and like this was like the night after, maybe like 2 nights after, and we were like standing in like a sub shop. I think it was Monica's actually.
Oh yeah,
and they had like a bunch of meat like hanging from the ceiling, and I was just like, I like turned to Eddie and was like, I want so badly for like Black Dynamite to like burst through the windows and then swing on the sausages that are like hanging from the ceiling. Like,
turn some into nunchucks. I was thinking, right on the same page.
Dan, I just sent you a link to the chat for that.
Incredible. Yes, I see it.
Holy fuck.
We've had several Ice Giant movie nights, and that Terminator 2 Blu-ray might need to be the next one.
Yeah, no.
T2 is such... So, I'm going to date myself here. I wasn't even 10 when this movie came out. I was like 8 or 9. And I remember to this day when they showed it on network television the first time for the Sunday night movie.
Wow.
And it was just like, and that was like 1993.
That's the year I was born.
But no, T2 is such a great film.
To see those effects for the first time, it's
oh yeah,
and like what they were able to do with like the actual Terminators there were insane. I don't hate where they went with. Not the biggest fan of Terminator 3. I kind of like Terminator Salvation.
There are no other movies. Terminator 1 and Terminator 2. It was a wonderful 2-movie franchise.
Not even one. It just appeared as 2.
Okay, so I'm gonna go. Liv, I'm almost 100% with you on that idea. Almost. I will say this. There are parts of 3 that I do like, but as a whole, I am not an entire fan of that film either. So it's like 2 and like a quarter for me.
The thing that kills Terminator 3 for me is that the whole thematic message of Terminator 2 is that fate is not real. And we are going to do everything that we can to change the future, to make it a better place, and to make sure that nuclear apocalypse doesn't happen. And then the whole theme of Terminator 3 is actually, yeah, fate is real. We're also going to kill everybody's favorite character off screen in between movies. And then we're going to have John Connor basically just be a doomsday prepper. And then we're going to take the villain and we're just going to gender swap the villain and have it be almost the exact same character. So it's like, it feels to me like an iteration that just completely misses the point. There's some really cool action sequences, but it bugs me so much that they're just like, yeah, that incredible story about finding community and family and friends and learning that the future is what you make it. No, you're going to get blown up anyway. Don't worry about it.
It is at the end, like, it was always going to happen. It was inevitable.
Awful. I hate it.
So, yeah, that is confusing at the end.
So is that your answer too, Dan, is Terminator 2?
No, mine is actually Spider-Man 2.
Ooh.
Yeah. The original Tobey Maguire.
Say that a hero could save us. I'm not gonna stand here and wait.
Oh, come on. 1 second.
So I've actually got a very, very active Letterboxd account and a lengthy log of all the different movies that I've watched. I'll give you a couple of my top rated action movies. I'm a huge fan of Everything Everywhere All at Once. The most recent Superman movie, Eddie and I saw together, that was incredible. There is an old samurai movie that I found because it randomly was very, very highly rated on Letterboxd called Harakiri. It's from, I think, the 50s, I want to say. No, 1962. And it's one of those rare movies where you're watching it and it's like, cool, I'm probably about 45 minutes into this movie. I'm going to pause it and go get a beverage. And then I find out 2.5 hours have passed and the movie's almost over. And I'm like, what? Crazy.
Holy shit.
That one is really incredible. And then The Karate Kid is a classic. Avengers, Top Gun, ridiculous. I have a
is that
very,
the next
very
one that's coming out? Avengers Top Gun?
Avengers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Long list of very highly rated movies.
That's how Tony's coming back, by the way. Tony Stark is coming back in the F-15.
Yeah.
Oh my God, can you imagine?
You
took
find
the
out,
danger zone.
Here's what happens. Maverick breaks the fucking barrier to time travel and brings him fucking back.
Genius.
Because you find out that Howard Stark in the 1940s was developing some fucking weird technology putting into fighter jets to fucking prevent World War II. And it ends up being in the fucking 80s when it happens. So that's why you get the fucking sequel to Top Gun also.
Hell yeah.
Fucking this Marvel shit writes itself these days.
Absolutely genius.
Imagine you go back to like the final fight in Endgame and you like zoom in on one corner and you're like, Is that fucking Tom Cruise?
In the corner of the screen.
Watch, it's all gonna be retconned now.
Yeah. Hell yeah, man.
What is a popular food that you're just like, nah, not me, don't like it?
Tomatoes. Anything with tomatoes, I can't stand it. Awful. They're gross.
Wow. So like no chili, no spaghetti, no.
Well. So here's the complicated thing is that if it tastes like tomatoes, I don't like it.
Okay.
So pico de
So,
gallo, nasty. Ketchup doesn't taste like tomatoes to me. It's sugar and vinegar. Marinara sauce doesn't taste like tomatoes to me. Like spaghetti sauce, stuff like that, that's fine. But like, if I get a burger and there's a tomato on it, I'm taking the tomato off of it.
So the raw tomato, essentially.
Yes, the raw tomato is disgusting.
Okay, I get that. Yeah.
I don't know if I have an answer to this. I'm a fat fuck. I eat everything. Let me think for a bit longer, but I'm coming up short right now.
I mean, I can't really see myself just like sitting down and eating a steak at all. Like,
How?
I don't know why. Like, I'll have like stuff with like steak in it. Like, it can be like steak fried rice or something. Like, that's fine. But like,
it was like dripping with delicious butter and like flaky pieces of salt. Like,
don't know why. For whatever reason, it's just like not appealing to me. It just feels unfinished. Like it belongs with something else. Like,
oh wow, yeah.
All right.
I might.
So the steak would be like a compliment to like the rice or the whatever.
Yeah. It feels like it has to be like something that's like in several pieces and in something to enhance the other thing. I don't know why. I can completely understand it, but I just can't fuck with like a whole steak. Like I can't like sit down and eat a steak.
That sounds like. I probably shouldn't say that. That's an intrusive thought. I think politicians sound that way too. Something that is far better in little pieces in something else.
Oh, I like it. I'm also not going to finish that sentence.
I know what you're going to say, though.
Let's say Mitch McConnell would probably not taste very good.
Yeah. It's a little
I don't know. Have you ever had turtle soup?
Hell yeah.
I like my steak well done at 200 degrees Fahrenheit.
I prefer my steak boiled.
Boiled? No! Oh, dear.
I heard he was in the hospital and that he was getting better, unfortunately.
God damn it.
Damn.
All right, I'm gonna talk about blue crabs on the podcast. In Maryland, blue crabs are a big thing from where I'm at, and I go and get them out of the bay. Crab, me and my father have my entire life. It's amazing.
He means that too.
It's unbelievable.
He goes and gets them.
It's unbelievable. It's like it'll be 8 a.m, and then Eddie and Big Ed will return with a gigantic barrel full of crabs, and it's like, oh my god, this is crazy.
Yeah.
By like 2 p.m. I'll let you tell the story.
Yeah, a couple hours. We go in with raw chicken. We come out with blue crabs. But
yes, you do.
we steam and have a good time whenever the band's down. There's one way to cook them though that is boiled in garlic, and I turned it all mushy and like that wasn't working for me.
Okay. Yeah, the like crab and shellfish and like lobster and stuff like that is definitely, you definitely have to do it the right way. Like I'm not like grilled shrimp. 100%. If they're like breaded, I'm like, okay, just because I like shrimp, but I'm like, it's not a favorite. It's like, but yeah, like you get like grilled, there you go. So yeah, I totally know what you mean with like the crab and everything too.
Yeah, it like seafood. I mean, like a lot of things, but it's real versatile. Like, so if you like the bread, you like grilled, boiled, Shrimp. I really like blackened shrimp too, with like a
Sauteed.
like grilled. Yeah. Don't they stick in a stew? Bake them, mash them, stick in a stew. Yeah, bubble gum and gollum. But yeah, that'd be me.
Compared to this time last year, are you happier or sadder?
In the life or in the band?
This is general questions. This is applied to you as a person. So
in the life, it's different. I'll call it that. I don't know why I just said it like that.
Different.
It's different. But because like there's a lot of things that are way better. And there's a lot of things that really suck right now. But, there's enough love and good stuff that, like, I don't think you could really compare it in terms, like, quantitatively like that. Mm-hmm. So, different in the life. But as far as the band goes, way happier. Oh, my God. And, like, again, that's no shade to anybody that's ever, come before any of us in the band. Everybody pulled their weight and did what they could and served the project well. But like, this is it to me. Like, this is the best version we've had so far. And like, I'm sure you can tell just by listening to us talk right now that like we've developed so many like bits and like,
oh yeah,
like movies that we all love. And oh my God, actually, speaking of food, like Ice Giant is a very like food tourist band. Like wherever we go, we try to get like either the best of whatever that thing is, or like, whatever niche thing might be in that area. Like even something as simple as like, we're in the Midwest, so any burgers we get, Culver's. We're going to Culver's. Like,
oh, come on. Culver's, really?
I love Culver's.
We don't have anything like that out here. Like, our gold standard out here is McDonald's. Like, come on.
Is it really?
Oh, dude, yeah, there's nothing
special out here.
Like, the only thing that's like halfway decent out here is like Popeyes.
Yeah, for real.
Oh, okay.
No, New England is lacking in the chains. But,
yeah, but you all have New England has a lot of like
sushi, seafood, all that biz.
Yeah, and like actual like sit down cuisine instead of fast food kind of stuff.
Oh, truly, yeah, for sure.
A lot of it is like ridiculously expensive, though.
Oh yeah.
Actually, speaking of that reminds me of a moment where at the end of our tour last summer, we went to this place in Rhode Island to get like lobster rolls and like steamed clams and stuff. And literally as we were like receiving our food to sit down and eat, we got the notification that Ozzy died. Yep. And so the tour ended. We were about to eat. We were still all together, and we got to like, I guess like mourn together over stuffed clams.
Wow.
Shaved ice. What's that place in Rhode Island?
Dell's.
Dell's.
Oh,
Dell's Lemonade.
I am from Rhode Island originally, so I'm a Massachusetts transplant. Rhode Island. If some Massachusetts people will hate me for saying this, if you want good seafood, it's not in Massachusetts. It's in Rhode Island.
I wouldn't fight you on that.
Rhode Island seafood, we have like stuffies, for example. Like you can't really get those up here, even like an hour away. Rhode Island's an hour south of us, but like for some reason there's so many things that just don't carry over into Massachusetts or Connecticut or anything like that, and I don't know why. Dell's Lemonade is one of them. If you're ever in Rhode Island, you have to get a Dell's Lemonade.
It's goddamn delicious.
Stuffies are incredible. The Iggy's clam cakes, incredible. Like there's so much really, really good food in Rhode Island.
Hell yeah. Anybody else on this time last year? You happier or you sadder?
I think happier for me. I started last year on a relatively low note. There were a bunch of different reasons because most of 2024 didn't go super well for me. Like there was a lot of things like that I tried that didn't work, or I tried that like blew up in my face, and So I started 2025 thinking, well, 2024 sucked. Let's like do better. And then 2025 was actually pretty great. And I'm still feeling pretty good. So I think having the good experiences of 25, I think, has me on an uptick, if you will.
Okay.
You do a great job of, if there's something to try and there's potential for it to be good, then you give it a shot, and even if it like really fucks up, like you do a good job of learning from that situation and then just doing it way fucking better the next time, which is a bravery not everybody affords to themselves, and I think that's really cool.
Appreciate that.
Eddie, Jazz?
Excuse me.
Amazing with the band, and life going okay. I've happier with what I'm doing now is living in the day. Today, my day has been great. I get to talk to y'all. I got to watch some history stuff. Got to work on music. Got my coffee. So and I've adopted more tangible tools to just work through days, like things like meditation and giving myself time to enjoy myself and trying to reassure myself that I deserve that time. So I'm happy that I have some more of those tools and things like that. And yeah, it definitely feeds directly into my lifeline when things are so exciting with the band and the things we're doing. So yeah, definitely on the upswing.
Hell yeah.
I definitely feel the same way personally. Like I feel like I'm on an upswing for sure, and band stuff has been going super, super well. I'm really, really happy to be like a member of Ice Giant. Easily like the happiest I've ever been in a project, and that being like kind of a new thing has made the future look so much brighter. And like this time, like last year, I was in like a shitty like I was on my way out of like a bed rot depression like kind of era, and kind of having this be one of the like couple of things that like picked me up a little bit. Like that was a big help among like other things. But yeah, I definitely as well as like getting on HRT like this past like December, that was really important. But I've made some progress, and that like really led to being happier this time, like or this time of year now as opposed to last year.
Hell yeah. Absolutely. So yeah, sounds like everybody's had some big strides that they've overcome over the last couple of years, and that's awesome because time is what we all, it's all relative to what we perceive it as personally, and no one knows how much we've got left or not or whatever, so but I do have one more question, and it kind of pertains to that scenario. So before we get to it, as always, links they're listed below. So give likes, shares, follows, go do all the things and all the stuff. Go see them on tour. Go buy merch. Go support. That's where everything happens. That's just showing support. Following, likes, all of that. Because we're all not playing Madison Square Garden, where some of us are just playing the fucking local bar, or just whatever we can play in our towns, because shit just is kind of fucking crazy day to day anymore. But anyways, like I said, like, share, follow, go do all the things, all the stuff. Do you all have any shout outs or anything else you'd like to promote today?
Oh shit. Fucking shout out Sibelian Triangle. What's up, Ivy? How you doing, girly pop? Fucking good buds from Texas. Great symphonic death metal. Ivy kind of occupies. Ivy's their guitar player, and she kind of occupies a similar spot in that band to what Dan does for us, where like she is just a fucking workhorse and is bringing that band to heights that that they previously hadn't gotten to, and she's also just like a really good pal and funny as fuck. And so shout out Sibelian Triangle. Fucking A. Goddamn.
There's a lot of really great bands in our home scene in Massachusetts, Boston, and I've had more time to till up around like Maryland, DC, Baltimore. Great metal scenes there, so I just try to find all the bands that are working there.
Oh, fucking shout out Anthony Medallia, Apollo motherfucker, who just launched his band van business. This motherfucker is cheaper than any of the green vans.
I've heard about this.
Wings of Apollo, my guy.
Wings of Apollo. Hit that guy up. He wants to get you on the road.
He's awesome. Super sweet dude.
Well, that's one of the kindest motherfuckers I've ever met, and sick drummer. Oh my god.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck yeah. That's something else. Yeah, like the whole tour situation, but that's another story for another day. Anybody else?
I've got a shout out. I was gonna wear an Averse shirt today. A band that's like kind of friends of ours in the Boston area, Averse. I was gonna wear one of their shirts today, but I dropped food on it like an idiot, so I didn't get to wear for the podcast today.
No!
This is metal. There's no
give them a
fucking
shout out
rules.
instead. I guess.
Like, look at, hey, this is metal. I'm sure there's been many an interview with like Glenn Benton or fucking somebody else who had fucking food on their shirt, you know. But
it's like a glob of chili like on their cheek, just like, hey guys.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, so the tour upcoming this year.
yeah, it's like that like mustard stain on there. Yeah, this is the blood of a Klingon. I bit into him before. It's like, no, look, it's like mustard. Come on, what are you talking about? It's like, no, it's Klingon blood.
Yeah.
If you think about that in the context, Klingons make love through violence. So if you got blood on you from that, then man, what were you doing with that Klingon boy?
It's a trophy of sorts.
Couple more shouts. Speaking of shirts, got RPM Fest. Everyone
Let's go!
needs get them tickets.
Yeah.
Get them tickets
for sure.
And I also have my Flummox cassette here.
Let's go! Yeah.
Sick.
Shout out Ellie Dallinger. Fucking A. Let's go.
On our end, everyone go listen to Ed Tierney's End. It is available everywhere.
And on that note, shout out to Kyle Hebner, Tom Lebednik, Beth McPherson, Alex Schofield, who are all former members of Ice Giant, who are featured on the goddamn song. There's a gang vocal before the first chorus that features all them motherfuckers, and also including dear friend of the band, Dwayne Eldridge.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah. You know that guy.
Actually,
yeah.
I know Dwayne.
Kyle is actually More Than the Lights drummer also. Our former drummer Kyle is now More Than the Lights drummer as well.
Fuck yeah.
Very interconnected.
Okay, so the world just got a little smaller. Hell yeah. That's cool because Icehow played with More Than the Light at Legions of Metal.
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, so and obviously we probably have another mutual friend that's with the Flamekeeper network here, Aaron Ossont. If you know Aaron, he lives like 10 minutes away from Dwayne, and he's all part of that scene up there. He's a pretty cool dude. Does some interviews for us, so he's our northeast connection.
Good to know. All right.
Hell yeah. So shout outs to everybody there. Shout out to Dwayne for sure. He was on about a year ago. So hell yeah. So my final question of the day, like I said, time and everything, having a weird last couple of years, trying to be better people and such is, in such a trying time, as we say, in these trying times things, like, the world's kind of always unprecedented, right? And I kind of recently had asked my mom, I was like, did you ever just sit there and think, what the fuck is going to happen next? And she said, every fucking day. So like, I think when we're kids, we often sit there and think like, what's going to be 20 years down the road, or what's especially when you're 10 to when you're like 20 to when you're like 30. But so what do y'all think's going to happen for you all in the next 10 to 20 years as people? I mean, like, what would be your ideal thing of what you were looking for?
I mean, shit, if we're talking ideals, forgive me, this one might be a little long-winded coming from me, but it's first gonna revise a little bit of what I was saying earlier about what did I want to be when I grew up, because I think I gave you the like elementary school answer, but similar to my bandmates, by like 14, I had watched Pantera live in Moscow in 1991, and the thought finally hit me of, well, I want to fucking do that. like, you know, there's I wouldn't really consider myself a Pantera supporter nowadays, but that is the band that I grew up on, and you know, just watching that happen, I thought 20 years from then, you know, from when I was 14 to say like 34, that I would be doing that. I would be playing these massive arenas with my band, and you know, thousands of people would love my music. And you know, I'm 32 now, so technically I've got 2 years left to make that happen. Never say never, but you know, like, metal is not in the zeitgeist like it was even back when I was a kid, and certainly not like back in 1991 when Pantera was doing that. And so I've adjusted kind of like how I've thought about it. And Jazz and I talked about this a couple weeks ago, and she put it really eloquently, where it's as long as you adore what you're doing, then, you know, if I'm, you know, relatively like not as well off as maybe some other folks, but I still get to play guitar, hang out with my buds, and, you know, have a decent enough following where it's like, you know, I feel like I am, you know, bringing my art to people, then that is plenty satisfactory, and I would be happy having that as my life. And so I guess to answer that from my current perspective of like, I'm 32, what do I want to be doing at 52? You know, definitely music of some sort. You know, I hope it's Ice Giant. That would be great. But if not, I would love to be composing and just working with other artists, and, you know, just continuing to breathe emotion into the everyday of life, which sort of brings my whole, like, my modus operandi in general is to just participate in as much quality love as I can throughout my life. I think that's a fulfilling life. And so I want to bring my art to folks and participate in self-expression and connecting with people over like artistic concepts and stuff, but also, you know, like, have fun and remind people that we live in a time where you should have fun, like almost as like protest to our shitty capitalist overlords who would like us to be worker bees and not question that existence for the rest of our lives. So my answer to what I wanted to grow up and be would be a rock star. And my answer right now to what I would like to be is still a rock star, but maybe with the sort of adjusted frame of, you know, focusing on like connecting with people, and also, you know, having fans and, you know, hopefully making some sort of money and all that stuff. But the definition of rock star has grown since I was a kid. Yeah, I think that's the end of that thought. Hell yeah.
For sure. I 100% agree with that. And yeah, same. I pretty much the exact same for me, you know, from, like you said, you know, experiencing the idea of this being, you know, a positive, and, you know, just like not being a fucking complacent worker bee. Yeah, fuck.
You can't make me do it. Fuck that shit.
Exactly.
I got fired from a job once because at a conference that I went to, I met somebody, and I'll not extrapolate further than that. But like, man, like, it's you gotta have the fun that you want when you can. Like, if something cool and loving puts itself in front of you, you should participate in it. it would be cool.
Yeah.
Make you feel good.
I want to second a lot of this, everything Liv just said, because that's it. When I was a kid, I saw the CD and thought about what rock star really meant, and now it's what's really rock star. It's not the quantity, and it's what you do and how you love, and how this music is our expression of life and that exploration. So I feel like I'm on a quest, and you can't really beat that. Mm-hmm. So like, along with that, and being in the best place possible to do that and to affect people's lives positively and be in a strong position to be able to do that. I would like to think like personally and as a band too, that we'll have more resources and expertise as we go to accomplish that. And if I can feed myself, I really don't need that much more. But like it's like room to pursue other passions, like different art and the ability to travel and see more things and take more things in. So it sounds like more metal and more exploration.
Oh yeah. I will say though, I just want to add the one caveat that like, if on the extremely unlikely chance that like Chapel Roan called me tomorrow and was like, "You're hitting the big time, baby," I'd be like, "Yep, I'm there. See you later, fucking."
that kind of ties in the same thing too, of that goal and that place where we're such a comfortable like band, whatever that would mean, but up to whatever point it would be, that when you operate efficiently enough, it doesn't kill everybody if you go do your things. As several of us are in different projects and have capacity for all different types of voices and art.
Shout out to Nihilus Mundi. Let's go.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Dan, Chess.
The cat is requesting that I unhammer.
I see that.
Yeah.
There's a great chance that we could.
Yeah.
So,
we didn't get flagged in our Canada run. It all went well.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have to like cut out every other word so it doesn't like pick up on the international shit and fucking get you all out of Canada.
Oh, shit.
They're troublemakers. You know, like certain tactics of fucking international travel from administration shit. Fuckers.
Oh, yeah.
That was a new thing for us. Like Jazz's first tour with us when we went to with Celestial Wizard. That was our first like going over the border. It actually went very smooth.
So fine, yeah.
The shows up there were amazing too.
Oh my
Crazy,
god,
great shows.
Yo, shout out Ottawa. Oh my god, dude.
Crazy.
That was my favorite spot on the entire tour.
Amazing.
Easily the best date in my opinion.
So cool. Dude, we got to play. That show was great. We played really well. People came out. The sound guy was strict but very good at his job, which we appreciated.
Yeah.
I got to make out with someone in the street. That was cool. All around good experience. Mm-hmm. Oh my god. Also, did you know that Popeyes in Canada has Cajun poutine?
Whoa.
Dude, like this was a revelation that we were all very fond of. In fact, Dan.
All right. Okay. So
Mark, please ask Dan how he's still alive.
I wasn't going to bring it up, but since you insist, I have an obsession with poutine to the degree where, hold on, let me just pull up the damn photo. I have a photo album of all the poutine that I've ever had. Minus one. There was one that I got in Vermont that sucked that I didn't take a photo of because it wasn't in Canada. Hold on, where the hell is this photo album? Album. There it is. Poutine. I have a whole album of just photos of poutine.
Dude, that is
oh my god.
So this is the one. I don't know how well it's going to show up with the glare. It's not going to show up at all.
It's not going to show up.
Yeah. All right. Well, in any case, the Cajun poutine was incredible. It's literally just Popeye's Cajun fries with the gravy and the curds.
That's all it needs to be.
That was really, really good. The best still to this day that I had was in Quebec City. It was like 1 o'clock in the morning. We had just played. It was our last Canada date last July. And I got
like
this
calling around to find a hotel at the same time this was happening.
Yeah. I was like wildly dehydrated. I had had about 85 beers. And it like we found this place and they had Tabasco poutine. It was unbelievable. I was in straight up heaven. It was the greatest food that I think I've ever tasted, and I'm going to be chasing that high for eternity.
So to put this in perspective, we were there in Canada for 3 days, and by poutine number 4, I would say I started to get actually concerned because I think Dan was becoming poutine. And poutine can't play bass. Right? So we were going to have a problem on our hand. I think 3 days in Canada was exactly like we're going to have to strategize.
That's
if we do a longer one, we
liner
have
note
to
name.
institute like
Poutine quota.
Yeah, that's the new. That's how he needs to be credited on liner notes now, as Poutine Dan.
Yeah, Dan Poutine Salem.
we need to have like a set of guidelines anytime we do a Canada run where it's like, Dan, you can only have this many poutines per
No, actually,
survive.
Poutine allotment.
No, actually, no.
The current levels are too high.
Dan, I'm on your side here. You put it in the rider for the fucking show, and anytime you all play in Canada, Dan has poutine catered.
I'm sold.
Hell yeah!
I'm in. That's it.
Or a buyout for something like Popeyes.
Hell yeah!
I'm in. We're doing it.
Dude, there you go. That's how you do it.
What has science done?
So back to our last question, Jazz. Where did you see yourself being in 20 years?
Personally, in 20 years. I mean, I'm 21, so like I kind of have a hard time picturing what that even looks like.
Oh wow!
But I would say definitely living somewhere in Europe, probably like Ireland or something, and doing kind of exactly what I'm doing now, just being in bands, and whether it's successful or not, like I could see myself in 20 years being broke as fuck and playing with like local acts forever, or I could see myself 20 years from now like playing to tons and tons of people with literal Ice Giant. So like I can see myself in like so many different situations. It's just kind of hard to like narrow it down a little bit.
Sure,
but
definitely
still playing music for sure. Hopefully on a higher level than I've consistently done for the last, few years. And I would really love for Ice Giant to be what, makes that happen.
Absolutely.
I kind of can foresee that personally.
And
I
Dan?
think we all share that dream. I'm grateful that we all have that vision for sure.
For sure. Dan, what was your answer to that as well?
Yeah, I'm 27, so 20 years from now I'll be approaching 50, and I'm hoping that by that time I will have already had a lengthy career, seeing the world, touring, exploring. Like my goal musically is to tour as close to full time as possible, for a multitude of reasons. First of all, being that music is pretty much the only thing I think about 99% of the time. I'm always thinking like, okay, this next song, this next album, this next show, this next XYZ album cover, whatever you want to think. All my energy goes to, or I should say 95% of my energy goes to music, and the remaining 5% gets split up amongst the 40 hours a week I spend in an office. My goal, touring is beautiful. Got you. And seeing the world, seeing all these new places, meeting all these new people, experiencing different cultures. We've only ever toured across the United States and Canada at this point, but I would love to tour, say, like Latin America, Europe. Europe would go crazy for us, I think.
Oh my God.
There's so many cool places around the world that have so many cool different people and cultures and customs and things like that. And I would love to see as much of that as I possibly can. And I would, hopefully within the next 20 years, I get to see as much of that as I can possibly manage.
Definitely. Thank you all so much for doing this. This has been awesome. I've had such a blast talking with you all. Hopefully things happen and, we get to meet in person soon and,
Yes.
Just be able to play metal, have fun, and just, do what the fuck ever. Have poutine. Have poutine, have a beer,
Saying, y'all.
share some tunes, don't take weed in your grinder over the but yeah, fucking metal every day. We're gonna play it out on the way today, fucking at Tyranny's End, right?
Yeah.
Goddamn right. Freshly dropped as of yesterday. 10-year celebration. Ice Giant is a decade old, and we got a new song out right now, motherfuckers.
Hey metalheads, you like tattoos? Of course you do. If you're in the Louisville, Kentucky area, come on over the bridge to Clarksville, Indiana, and get you some ink done at Ageless Art. If ink isn't your thing, they have a piercing studio as well. Visit agelessartclarksville.com to see some frequently asked questions, meet the staff. The shop is open Monday through Thursday, 12 to 8 p.m., Saturdays, 12 to 10 p.m., and Sundays, 12 to 6 p.m., all appointment-only spots. You can set up your appointments by phone at 812-283-1793 or email agelessarttattooandpiercing@gmail.com and someone will get you set up for your first or your next tattoo or piercing.
metalheads, after going to a rager, what's your ultimate go-to? Mine is totally pizza. So when Overload is playing, or I'm promoting the Metal Forge live showcases, or the big goddamn metal show, I go to Pizza Donisi. Pizza Donisi is gourmet artisan pizza from right here in Louisville, Kentucky. It features things like the pizza of the month, the sandwiches, and also vegetarian and vegan options, which is so totally fucking cool for all of it's awesome pizza. You definitely want to go. Hey, and also from time to time they do cannolis. Oh, so fucking good. You know what they said, man? Leave the gun, take the cannoli. Yeah, just like that in Godfather. They're located right next to the Mag Bar at 1396 South 2nd Street. So either stop in or call in at 502-213-0488. They're open till midnight. The witching hour.
Heineken? Fuck that shit! Pabst Blue Ribbon!
Hey metalheads, you all hear me talk about Mag Bar all the time. It is the home to the Metal Forge live showcases and is an integral stop in the ultimate underground metal tour schedule. They obviously feature live music, but the Mag Bar also has daily specials like Pint and Slice Night on Tuesdays with Pizza Donisi. But they also do Bring Your Own Vinyl on Thursdays with DJ Kent Jackson, and Finer Things Sundays. Located right next to Pizza Donisi at 1398 South 2nd Street, open 3 p.m. to 4 a.m. 7 days a week. Get your asses out to the Mag Bar. Rock out. For 45 years in keeping Louisville weird, Electric Ladyland has been there for all your eccentricities. While they do offer the best smoking supplies out on the market today, there's a whole lot more to check out. From ashtrays and blacklight posters, to records, incense and burners, and items to stock your metaphysical supply. They are open from 10 to 10, 7 days a week. Located at 2325 Bardstown Road in Louisville, Kentucky, and at electricladyland420.com. Roll out. In 2017, one man's vision and passion for all things metal started out as a record store in his house. Years later, the fight against a mainstream empire continues as Shade Beast. An independent metal collective and online store based in Athens, Georgia, is the world's premier heavy metal brand for music heads that value authenticity over the mainstream acceptance. Featuring original t-shirts from some of the best underground artists, as well as stickers, posters from the Shade Beast Presents concert series. Unique, one-of-a-kind collectibles and small curated selection of vinyl and cassettes from the masters old and new. Visit shadebeast.com and enter promo code SithLord for free domestic shipping on your first order, whether you're a new customer or returning. And be sure to join the Shade Beast social groups on Facebook and the interwebs to keep up with the new release announcements and talk all things metal and Star Wars. You'll never find a more wretched hive of scum and filth.
Welcome to the night. You think you know Night Demon? Then the Night Demon Heavy Metal Podcast is for you. Step into the darkness as we peel back the curtain to give you an unprecedented, all-access look into the mind and the heart of the demon. We're talking band history, song analysis, studio anecdotes, stories from the road. It's everything a diehard Night Demon fan could want and more. This is the only place to learn the inside scoop, the deep dive trivia, the untold tales from the band members themselves and those closest to the Night Demon story. Need more? The Sacred Night Demon Crypt will be pried open to reveal demo recordings that have never before seen the light of day, all with in-depth commentary by the band and the people who were there for the writing and recording process. This is a gold mine, a treasure trove of all things Night Demon. Head over to nightdemon.net or wherever you listen to podcasts.
Since 2013, there has been a calling from the underground, from the graves of all those unholy, and they decided to make a zine to talk about all of this. Soul Grinder Zine, an independent metal zine to keep you informed on all things metal and horror from the underground. Available in both print and digital formats, they're bringing you the best interviews and reviews out there today. Not only do they do the zine, but they also do compilation CDs. Check them out at facebook.com/soulgrinder.zine and start your subscription now.
Hey everybody, let me tell you about the new sponsor to the Metal Forge, Unchained Tapes. They're an independent Pennsylvania tape label. They focus on extreme metal and punk with a killer approach to the tape scene. Visit their web store at unchainedtapes.bigcartel.com now to get your fill of tapes. And for being a Metal Forge listener, enter the code METALFORGE10 at checkout to get a 10% discount on your total purchase. That's unchainedtapes.bigcartel.com.
What's up, Metal Forge fans? This is Alan Bishop, the alchemist of Indiana's Black Forest and head distiller at Spirits of French Lick. Do you find yourself drawn to the unexplained, fascinated by the Fortean, or enchanted by the paranormal? If the things that go bump in the night resonate in your mind, then tune into my brand new podcast, If You Have Ghosts, You Have Everything. Featuring first-hand accounts, collected stories, interviews, history, and speculation related to all things not of this world. Available now on Anchor, Spotify, Google, Amazon, and more. Set back, relax, and remember, if you have ghosts, you have everything.
Hey, let me tell you guys about Mercenary Press. They're an independent London label and distributor of all things metal. Mercenary Press delivers the goods from their own independent zine. Trust me, you're going to want to get in on that. To distributing various bands from all over the world, including Cramp from Spain and Sadistic Force from Texas. Visit mercenarypress.bigcartel.com to find out what all they have in stock and what you can order. And for Metal Forge listeners, enter code METALFORGE10 to receive a discount on your total purchase at mercenarypress.bigcartel.com. Check it out now.
Hey Metalheads, it's with great pleasure I get to tell you guys about a new sponsor to the Metal Forge, Ageless Art, New Albany. After 20 years of owning and operating Ageless Art in Clarksville, Indiana, Phil Garrett had a vision for a new type of tattoo studio. Something that is clean and modern, sleek, refined, inviting. And he's done just that with Ageless Art in New Albany. You can find it at 2736 Charlestown Road, New Albany, Indiana, 47150. Business hours are Monday through Saturday, 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. Sundays are 12 to 6. All sessions are appointment only, so give them a call and go get you some new ink. Or if it's your first time, go get your first one, baby.
In a broken wasteland, come to my fire and place your blood and steel upon my pyre.